do re mi re do re mi re do re mi re do si fa fa mi do re fa fa mi re fa fa mi fa mi re fa fa mi la so mi fa mi fa mi do re mi fa mi do.
So I just listened back to the recording of the Canon. I recorded that Canon quite a few times because it was a little bit challenging to line them up like well, because I don't even know what it was about it. I just wasn't happy every time I listened back to it. I was like, oh, I need to change this part. There's this that was slightly off. But there's a section on GarageBand you can put a metronome. So I just put the time in 4/4 and just did it in twos, and just it really helped me keep a beat and make sure that the parts were lining up. But that's also one of my favorite parts about recording in harmony, just when it finally lines up and you have something with multiple parts. It's so satisfying to just listen and hear the pretty harmonies, especially in Canons. It's a lot of fun to record. I've had a lot of fun this semester with recording Canons. Just using GarageBand in general, I think, is such a fun way to create music, and not something we regularly do. It's really fun to just sit and play around with it and listen back. And I'm not a fan really of listening to myself do something after I've done it. Like if I record for a lesson, I'll usually just play it, just skim through it, see that it's mostly okay. I really, really dislike listening to myself after I've done something, but this I had a lot of fun with, actually, just going back, seeing where there was parts where maybe the harmonies didn't line up well, and I thought I achieved a decent blend with the three parts, something that I like to work on. I was very picky this time because I wanted it to line up well. I feel like some of the other canons we've done have a very straightforward pattern that fits together really nicely with the harmonies. This one is a little bit harder, but it was also really fun. That it was a little bit more challenging. And yeah, I really love recording canons. I also recorded it in minor. I wasn't as happy with that one. I listened back to it, I was like, these harmonies don't sound great. It probably wasn't intended to be in minor, but I decided, you know what, I'm gonna record it in minor and see if that sounds okay. And I think the whole step from the la to the so was just something that my ear didn't like when I listened back to it, especially with the three parts. But yeah, I had a lot of fun doing this. I really love recording with GarageBand and making music that way. I'm hoping we get to do like a song, because I have many musical theater songs with like a bunch of parts that I'd love to just figure out and create all the harmonies and just make it sound so cool. GarageBand's so much fun. I like making other music on it too. I think it's a very underrated platform, especially for education. I think it's something that's really accessible. A lot of schools have iPads. My phone ran out of storage, so that video got cut off. But where I was going with that was lots of schools have iPads, and I think GarageBand's a really cool way you can engage in music, especially now with everything that's online. I think it's such an interesting way that you can still make music and do stuff that way. It's so cool. So yeah, kind of went off on a tangent there, but I do truly love GarageBand and love working with it. And I really hope that we get to work with it more in future projects.